everybody's had a chance to read the minutes, and I think maybe, I don't know, notice one spot down, I think, where it motion for Harold or instead of Harold accepting resignation, you might just want to put, he made a motion to accept Alfred's resignation at the last meeting. Not a big deal, but I didn't see anything else really, did y'all?
That's what move
With the one correction.
one correction, Chairman.
Second. Second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, aye? Aye. All right, and first, we can just go ahead and talk about the county's health care benefit program. Of course, probably like most other programs right now with the new Obamacare out and everything, the cost is actually going up, and that's what we're faced with today to make a decision on our renewal. And we did go over this at the last work session and discuss the differences in option 1 and 2. I guess for me personally, kind of knowing what's out there and not being an unknown with option 2, not saying that we might not want to do that today, but in option 1, we know our cost will be $17,286.90 a month versus $16,949.40 a month with option 2. However, option 2 is going to cost our county employees a $5,000 deductible versus a $3,500 deductible when they have to go to the hospital. So, y'all, anybody got any thoughts other than what I just pointed out on those two options?
This looks to be the better thing, option 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean the other option. Well, what we're talking about, the difference, not that we understand 17,000 more than 16, but it was discussed at the work session that if we went with option 2, we felt like we should subsidize or offer our employees a kind of an in-house gap plan to cover the deductible to kind of keep it in line with where they don't have more than $1,500 exposure to them, and you know, it only takes about a couple of folks get sick for the county to have to come out of pocket with that money. And I think like Commissioner Green said, we know what our costs are, number 1. We don't know what it could possibly be for number 2. So without any further discussion or dragging it out, if y'all want to take action this morning, someone make a motion on either plan.
I'll make the motion that we go with option 1.
Is there a second? Yeah. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right. Well, next we have on the agenda is our Development Authority. They've come this morning to talk to us or to go over our a resolution that they want to propose to the Board of Commissioners. And again, we've had a work session and talked this out previously. And anyway, anybody, or you got any folders, I guess, too. Sandy, is there something you want to speak, or Mr. Cutter, anybody? Y'all just want to look at it?
We've given you in your package the resolution, the proposed intergovernmental agreement, and the budget, our proposed budget, and the Development Authority has already approved the resolution on their part.
Okay, and I guess to clarify, I've heard of a lot of folks that seem to, I know we're talking about an intergovernmental agreement and a resolution here, but I guess the Commissioners has already appropriated or set aside $60,000 for the Development Authority to use it as they see fit to spark economic development here in the county. And you tell me if I'm wrong here, Sandy, but what the Development Authority has asked is that we move to these resolutions and intergovernmental agreements, and then specifically set aside 1/2 mil for development authority, which might be a $20,000 increase for that budget. But
That's right.
there's been a lot of discussion that that's, you know, that money needed to promote Lanier County and try to bring jobs here.
Right, and you'll see on the resolution that that's one of the things that the state law says, that you do have the power to levy and collect that. And what it does is for the purpose of developing trade, commerce, industry, employment opportunities, and to provide the tax for such purposes, and that it does not exceed 1 mil tax.
Right. And
So by law, it could be up to 1 mil, but never more than that.
the
This
authority's
is
not
about
asking
half.
for 60 plus the 80, you're just simply asking
60
for.
plus 20.
Right, I mean, yeah, but that's been the misconception. I think people thought that the development authority was gonna move from $60,000 to possibly spending to $140,000.
No. We're asking, our budget is 80,000, and like you said, last year, we got 60, and we're just asking that we move to a resolution, an intergovernmental agreement, and then it would be a tax levy of 1/2 mil.
And I
That's
guess-
around 80,000.
For further clarification, I mean, just going forward, if I guess us guys up here are not commissioners and we don't simply agree with the budget that Development Authority comes up with next year, we still have the authority as county commissioners not to accept your proposed budget.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I mean, it's not like, here's $80,000, you go spend it the way you want to. It's just.
Right,
you know,
and it's not that we come back next year and say, well, we want a mill of taxes, and we don't really justify why we want that mill.
Right.
You know, this is, you have the budget each year. The intergovernmental agreement is for 4 years, but you approve the budget every year.
Anybody, have any questions or comments or thoughts on what we're being asked to look at?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have no problem with it. We, done this a few years ago to give them the whole meal for a couple of years, and they didn't use it, and it was scaled back. So the money just said, at one time they did hire someone to go out and search for jobs or whatever, but the money said at that particular time, they were able to scale back.
Well, I think it just, I mean, this is the way Lowndes County does it and several other counties. I mean, I think it's another way we can try to promote our county, and anybody certainly may have a different opinion. Tell me if you do. Nobody got any other further discussion? Would anybody want to make a motion that we adopt the intergovernmental agreement and the resolution? And I guess before we see that, the resolution would have to sit for 30 days.
I haven't read it.
You
This is
haven't
the
read
first I've ever seen it.
Make a motion, or we can wait for Suzanne to read it, can we make a motion pending approval of the county attorney?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution, pending the county attorney reads it, finds no problems,
And you want to include the intergovernmental agreement with that as well?
including the intergovernmental agreement.
So we have a motion. Is there a second? Any further discussion on this? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, ladies. Also, have you had a chance, there's not a city, is there, did you get a chance to?
Yeah, that one was.
All right, so, item,
There were typos in that one.
on the typo. So item 6 is an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Lakeland to, I guess, allow our elections office to conduct their elections. You want to give us your recommendation, Suzanne? It's something we've been doing already.
Yeah, fix the typos in it, I don't see a problem.
Let's see.
They prepared that, Suzanne. That intergovernmental agreement with us, me and the county and them doing their elections. They prepared it, I didn't. I've been doing it over the years, but we just, I guess, everybody says too happy anymore. I need to protect myself and do it in a governmental agreement between them and us, protect the county, because anything I do with the city election, the city would be,
So it's already
liable
been,
for it.
it's already been done this way, this is just putting it on paper.
Yes, yes. We all have to, I had to agree to it, and, then y'all have to agree to it, and they're gonna put it on their agenda this week. Just kind of covering all our bases.
It's for the mayor to sign
Yes,
for tonight or tomorrow.
yes. I think we kind of got caught off the cart before the horse. I went ahead and signed it, Alex went ahead and signed it, because we had been doing it, but we just figured we'd bring it to the board and then y'all vote on it, protect us all.
So we just need a motion to adopt the resolution, or the intergovernmental agreement, excuse me, with the city, pending, I guess, the corrections, typo corrections we made. Motion there.
Also move with correction, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Brockman, there a second?
Second.
Harold, second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All right, moving on along. Let's see. Judge Judy, you're next there with probate
Yes.
court.
We already have a county ordinance creating the office, the solicitor for our county that we did several years ago. But now, we were acting under an old attorney general's opinion, when we did this. So now there's actual law stating that we can have prosecutors for probate courts, and that there's guidelines they have to follow. Gives them what they can do, what they can't do. They have to take an oath. Anyway, we got to do a county ordinance, approving this, a new resolution, creating this office for the county prosecutors, and I think y'all have that before you. And this is one that Chase had done for his county, Chase Daughtry, because he has a prosecutor in his court. They adopted it a couple of weeks ago, getting their county prepared, up stuff on the new law. And also the DA has to put in writing that he does not wish to prosecute cases in our courts at this time, and he did that. I think y'all have that for you.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Suzanne, you-
It's something we already have.
Is there any hurry for this?
Well, I've got a prosecutor, and he goes on board. I mean, we have court June the 20th, and I want to make him legal for you. I don't know whether this nullifies the old law or not, I'm not sure, but the law is already in effect, so we just need to kind of bring it up, so.
Suzanne, we just table it till, later in the meeting, to give you time to look at it while we're in executive.
I should have discussed
We're
this
gonna
with
have
her.
a call meeting, but that won't be our 20th.
When's your deadline, Judy?
Well, I got court coming up June the 20th, so we just need, I feel like we need to have it in place, just protect us all. And I was gonna swear him in when he come back to court in June. We have to send their names to the prosecuting council, that they're gonna be prosecutors for our court and be in good standing.
When's the deadline? Not your next court date, but the deadline for this.
But there's not a deadline, Suzanne, that I know that, I don't know anything about a deadline. I didn't read anything in the law that there was a deadline. But we're still acting under the old county ordinance, so I'm saying that since we're acting under the old county ordinance, we can probably put it off until July 1st. What you think, Susan?
I think you can.
If that's okay, we'll just
We need to
table
get
it.
together and reword this a little bit.
Okay, all right.
If that's okay. We'll just table it until July meeting,
That'd be fine,
just to make the proper corrections and. then
Okay,
bring it
okay, all right. So then we'll get together
Okay.
and finish it up, all right? You good with me? You go.
back. Okay, thank you. All right, then, item number 8 8 is a short-term work program there. The resolution for the South Georgia Regional Commission is, have you seen that before? Yeah, all kind of resolutions and agreements to that.
Hell notice would be nice.
Yeah.
That's coming from the regional commission, sent it to me and Diane with the city. There's one for the city, you also have a copy of it, and one for the county.
What's the short-term work program anyway?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
this is just a continuation of the program that's already in effect. We've been doing this we've done every 5 years, but the resolution is done every year.
Isn't Sherry gonna be here?
Sherry's supposed to be on her way.
And she could maybe go over this with us later in the meeting, that'd be all right there. We just table it, or move, I guess table it till, we'll let it come back up under old business. Would that be okay, Sue?
Yeah, just give me time.
Yeah, let's just do that. So why don't we run over, come back to this, after executive session. If you got,
Chairman, yes, sir, I'd like to ask that the agenda be amended. We need to add, the reappointment for the Lanier County Board of Family and Children's Services. Their term, Mrs. Donna Summers, her term will expire June the 30th. I'd like to amend the agenda and add an 8A to ask for the reappointment of Mrs. Donna Summers, Lanier County Board of Family and Children's Services.
yeah, I saw that. Is it too late for that? Too late?
We should have been done at the very
Right,
beginning of the meeting.
but I don't think that's a pushing matter. We,
I mentioned it to her.
I forgot that.
Yeah, that you will amend it, but the agenda needs to be amended before it ever starts.
yeah, I forgot. They should have got it to us earlier, so we'll just.
See if he gives one of those, all reasons for his appointments. and just amend it.
Yeah, we should do it already. Okay. So that'll bring us to item 9 for fire department report. And, Donna, you got we got a little work session, everybody. If you got the little notes I made, you mind reading what we did there, Donna, if you don't mind? Before we let Gary speak to us, what day was that on?
On May the 30th, 2013, there was a work session concerning our health insurance and our fire department. So the County Board of Commissioners had a work session on May the 30th, 2013 at 5:30 p.m. concerning the fire department and citizens' questions and comments. The discussion started by talking about dry hydrants and tankers for West Side to improve the ISO ratings in that area. It is not practical because of the expense. The tanker truck needed would be a 30,000 gallon at minimum. Our CE spokesman stated that a new tower for the radios would cost approximately $55,000, or a smaller tower cost would be approximately $25,000. A grant would be needed to obtain help in the cost of this project. Also, an 8x8 building to store the electronics and an LP generator for the tower lights and electronics would probably cost approximately $75,000 for all. Commissioners asked if we were members of the Georgia WARN warrant in the event of needing mutual aid for help in disaster times. Also was asked fire, EMA, EMS if we have discussed the disaster plan. Mr. John Pruitt said it was the courthouse in some drawer. I believe this is the notebook that they're just concerning. Randy Patton also asked for new ambulance to give the old ambulance to the fire department. He's also asked for 2 first responder trucks. He stated 80% of the calls for EMS were from West Side and allows 347 times to South Georgia Medical Center between October and April. Out of the 491 calls that they received, there were 110 calls that came out of the ER at Lewis Smith Memorial Hospital.
Okay, thank you, John. All right, well, Chief Youngman, you want to go ahead and your report?
Yeah, we'll start with activities for May. The total calls were 26, with 10 of those calls being EMS calls. The county had 14 of the 26 calls, 5 of the 14 paid. Put the county's pay at $1,080 for the month. Repairs to date, engine 9 had to have a new mirror and a couple of batteries put in it, and the tower unit at the Lakeland station had to have set of batteries also. Things that are going on, the trees have been removed at the station site down at 7 Rocks. I've been told that we're waiting on the signing of the lease agreement to move forward on that. So, and of course, the money. Can't do anything without money, so we'll just be plugging along.
And
on this.
again, how much money are you thinking on that station?
Well, I mean, I built a building for around $5 grand.
$5 grand.
Yeah, so, but we got, I talked to Bob about digging the stumps and prepping the site, hauling dirt, you know, that county's gonna do all that, so. We'll move forward as soon as we get that signed and do that. The trees are now down, and we gotta get out there and burn a pile of rubbish, get it out the way, but we'll do that. We talked about, a tanker at the meeting. I was called last week to look at a tanker. Steve at Forestry is now doing the screening for that stuff. He called me to go look at one. The one he showed me is actually a military fuel truck built by Oshkosh, 6,000 gallon tank. This is one big truck. It's gonna gross out around 80,000 pounds full of work. Feasibility of that truck is not, to me, was not good. It's gonna limit the use of it, you know, what it can be done. And also, I'm kind of scared about putting volunteer firemen in a truck that heavy, you know, and that big. I told him, even though we get the truck, I think it's $100, and then we gotta go get it, or either pay to have them ship it to us, or then we also have to paint it. Within a year, it's supposed to be painted. It can't be left military color, from what I understand. So we'll have expenses on that. I initially told him that the truck just was not feasible for us. I mean, a 3,000 gallon tanker is pushing the limit to me, but I understand it. Farrell has accepted the truck, you know, to go ahead and get it, and which is fine. That's, you know, it's y'all's money. I just try to spend it the best way I know how, but that's up to y'all. They said something about putting it at West Side. Oshkosh Company, I ain't got a clue where we could get parts for it, if it broke down or whatever. And that was another reason you know, you don't stick with Ford, Freightliner, Chevrolet, and stuff like that. You got some oddball, you know, tear up something, and you don't even know where to get a part or make it work. But anyhow, only thing I would like to say today is I'd just like the record to reflect that I do not approve of this truck, this particular truck. It may be the greatest thing we ever get. At this time, I do not approve of it. So, but y'all go ahead and get it, that's fine. I won't say another word about it, but I don't approve of this truck.
And speaking of trucks, I think Harold had found another.
There's another one in Albany, a pumper.
You know,
Class A. I told Gary about it earlier.
What about that truck?
He hadn't told me about the pumper. Steve hadn't called me on that. He just called me on the tanker.
They just found it Friday, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he told me what's happening is that stuff's coming available at night. And by the time he gets back to work, everybody's done tagged stuff. So now he's got permission to go in there at night when it comes due and tag it first. So I'm hoping something's gonna come develop with that. So he may have, he just hadn't called me about a pumper. But I know we're supposed to get 2 pumpers, brush trucks, and a tanker.
Is this what is that? What's the truck you found here? I mean, why
Which one?
The Albany truck? What is it?
It's a Class A truck, a regular fire truck.
Have you got any paperwork on it?
Should be right there.
You want come look? I mean, you've probably seen this before. Oh yeah. I think both trucks are there.
Class A pumper there. Both of these are Class A, or is this just a duplicate?
One of them's a tanker.
It says a Class A pumper here, equipment type, Class A pumper. Both of these say Class A pumper, which is what we're looking for. Oh, this is just a duplicate copy of that.
Is that?
This is just, that's a duplicate copy of this.
I mean, is that truck?
Yeah, this is the Class A. Now, I haven't seen the truck. I'll go talk to Steve and he'll pull that down and look at it. I'm sure, you know, this will be one we'll want to get for sure. It's just a standard Class A.
But he's needing you to sign on those.
But if y'all, I mean, I guess y'all want to take action. Is that?
Gary, On the one that you don't approve on, is there a regulation on how many?
No regulations. Only thing I'm concerned is you got volunteer firemen. They are not CDL drivers, you know, big rig. These are just you and me. You know what you drive and what you're capable of, and I do too, and so does Scott and everybody else. Now, you're gonna stick you in an 80,000-pound rig that's as big as a half a football field.
What West Side is wanting for
Yeah.
is water to be stationed out there at West Side,
Right.
because they don't have any way to fill it.
No, my thing was the regulation, you know.
Right. No, there's no regulations on the feasibility of using this truck. I mean, they got a 3,000-gallon drop tank as it is, right there waiting to fill trucks. Now, if you set a 6,000-gallon tank there, I mean, you got it on a truck that's got to be upkept, I mean, you could ease that truck around in that subdivision and use that truck. But if I needed it down a dirt road or something, I mean, that just ain't feasible. It's too big, it's too long, too heavy. I mean, if we get it, fine, and we'll do the best we can with it.
I think we're looking at
I just
about.
don't want something to happen,
Right.
and then they come back and say, well, you wanted that truck, I want the record to show that, no, I did
The
not.
West Side wants that truck.
All right, so we're looking at about $1,600.
As district chief, I'm turning that truck down, I just want the record.
But do it make any
Less than
difference on who want the truck?
Less than 6, but I mean, painting it.
Do it make any difference on who want the truck?
Rick,
versus utilizing the
Scott
truck?
can answer that.
One more time, yeah.
Do it make any difference who want the truck? Or
No,
the
it
utilization
really
of the
don't.
truck?
If West Side wants that truck, fine. I just want it reflected, I did
Do
not.
you still think that West Side one?
Well, that,
No,
the
but as a
station
county-
chief Tim Brown wants it.
As a county, we want it, probably can't afford a new one.
Well, I didn't choose it, and and the commission, I guess, is going forward with getting it for the West Side Station, and that's fine with me. All the thing I just wanted to reflect that I did not approve it. Something happens later down the road, I did not approve the purchase of this truck. It's not a feasible vehicle.
No.
That's-
And they have personnel out there that are able to drive that truck. They're on the fire department at Moody Field that has drove trucks similar to that.
You don't always have them there. The one that shows up to drive it might be the youngest fireman out there that ain't never driven nothing but a pickup truck.
Well, it might not ever be pulled off.
I'm not gonna fuss about the truck. If y'all wanna get it, fine. I just wanna get out that I don't want it. In case something happens, I did not approve it.
Here, I have one question. Will that help that ISO rating that they were talking about?
According to Tim, they said something, they give them an 8B or something like that. I mean, surely that'll drop it. I mean, that's gonna
That
help
would,
all the
just
people.
having the truck available to you, so it wouldn't have to actually be on the road,
No.
but it could be used, when you drop that ISO rating.
I mean, you can use it, it can be used where it's feasible to use it. But to me, a smaller tanker that can be used anywhere in the county, if I get something big going on over here up there in Teeterville, I need water.
Well, maybe
I
we
mean,
can
I
get
don't
something like
think-
that later on or something, and then swap this one out to someone that needs something like that, but.
Well, I mean, after 18 months, we own the truck, we do anything with it.
Right, I don't think we're gonna stop looking for other
Right.
tankers just because
Right.
we're getting this one.
The more than we'll have in it, I think it would be a no-brainer not to get it and utilize it
I
when we're
just-
good, when we're good.
I just don't want something serious to happen and come back. After our little incident, I'm real particular about who drives what. Like the new forestry truck we got in Lakeland, when we got it, it's a 10-wheel, the biggest thing we've got. And I got hit, those guys that drive it, they know they cannot run 10, 18 wheel. It's got lights on it, sure, they don't have a siren in it. I tell them, you take it out, you drive it highway speed, you obey all the rules, just like everybody else on the road. You cannot run it as a fire truck. It's too big, it's too heavy. And this truck we're getting will be twice that big.
So we just need to reiterate
There you
the
go.
west side, not just anybody.
And I'm just, I'm just covering my bases. And that's all I have.
And we do need a pumper for,
Pumpers are needed for Mud Creek.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. And then, of course, we're gonna need one for the new station out here, once we get that.
so we probably need to go ahead and act on that one also.
Yeah, couple of pumpers is needed, definitely. I mean, we take all them we can get, because we got old trucks that really need to be changed out, but we're getting by. Okay?
All right, but, how does the board feel on the two trucks in front of us?
I think the main reason what they're trying to do is just get the amount of water to lower the ISO, so I don't think there's an issue with
Yeah, I mean, we can always, if we don't feel, you know, we can always move it to the county barn if we feel uncomfortable with that thing being out there and just let it, I mean, I don't see that happening, but if it, worst case scenario is something.
Yeah, we moved to county barn, we got several out there with CDLs. If they needing to transport it somewhere else.
So, anyway, y'all wanna move forward, a motion to accept the 2 trucks?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to accept the truck.
Okay.
I think it's better to have it, don't need it, don't have it.
Right, well, and, and there's and then a second on that?
I'll second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, I guess raise your hand.
No.
All righty. Bob, he contacted me, or actually came by to see me this morning. I hope I remember kind of what he told me. But we got a grader that's down, so he's out seeing about getting it back going. I guess anybody on the road situation, I haven't had a lot of phone calls. I mean, I know we've had a lot of rain, and some graders do. I know Bob did make a comment that some folks have called him wanting to know why the grader was parked. Well, usually the park because the roads are too dry to be graded and they won't work properly, or either they're too wet. So I mean, it's, you know, when the graders are sitting, it's usually, it's not because we don't be running them, it's because the conditions aren't right and that kind of stuff. But and he's still looking for a sidearm mower. We need a tractor with a sidearm mower, and probably need to take action on that between now and 1st of July or sometime, so we can get the right-of-ways mowed there on the county roads and the county maintained roads. So, I think that's about it. Anything else?
Also the surplus, he like, there's
That's
a
right.
patent detention van in the surplus.
That's right, and you want to add the patent detention van to the surplus and do it for salvage. So it's probably, I don't think it runs or anything like that. I think it'll probably end up going to the junkyard, but we'll put it in the paper and advertise it. Do that. Or I guess we need a motion to do that. Somebody make a motion on the van.
Motion, clear the van surplus.
Mr. Fender, second. Mr. Brown, all in favor? Aye. Okay. All righty. Randy, you got an EMS report for us?
Yes. First of all, sitting back here, I wasn't real sure on what you said, that 80% of the calls at West Side was EMS. Did you say that? I said that Tim Brown actually said 80% of his calls for West Side Station was to assist EMS.
Yeah.
I didn't want y'all to think 80% of our calls was out there, so.
I wrote the note, so she probably, she
Okay.
just, I mean, I might have.
And I may have misunderstood it from standing back here, so. We had, for the month of May, 117 calls. Of those, we transported 82 patients. We assisted 10 patients at home without transport. 64 of the calls were in the city limits of Lakeland, 5 in Teeterville, 7 at Mud Creek, and 13 at Westside, 19 in Stockton. We had to call for assistance 6 times last month, and 3 of those were on the same day. We were called out by other counties 3 times last month. So that's put our mutual aid for the year down tremendously from last year. We're at 36 calls so far for mutual aid this year. We've assisted other counties a total of 28 times this year. We have transported a total of 402 patients to SGMC for the year, 55 last month. On a sad note, I'm going to be leaving here, going to a funeral from 2 MS personnel that were killed last week. One funeral was yesterday. Gary sent a fire truck and I sent an ambulance to the funeral. I was unavailable to attend that funeral. I was already teaching a class in Thomasville that I couldn't get out of. The funeral today is for the director of Turner County EMS. He was retired a few years ago. And as you know, he was killed transporting a patient to Tifton Thursday morning. Understanding the risk and the things that we go through every day, you kind of look at Gary's point and my point sometimes. Sometimes things don't work like we plan. Our intentions is to go out and help everybody we can help. And doing so, sometimes you get complaints that a fire truck went by too fast, or an ambulance went by too fast, or, you know, your complaints that you get from us all the time, but just understand, in our heart, we try to do the best we can do, and when something feels good and feels right, we try to do it. So, you know, I'm not taking sides on anything, it's just a risk we take every day, just like you do when you get in your car and come to work. We add lights and sirens to what we do, and the risk goes up tremendously. So please just bear with us and work with us and understand we are trying to do what we can. The first responder trucks for the area, I haven't been notified by the guy from forestry yet. I'm hoping some of those will come up. But the other person that was looking, he was saying there were several of them coming up. So if those come up, Harold, however you get in contact with them, please, I'll go anywhere to look for a truck for us. And it doesn't have to be nice, pretty bells and whistles and everything. A pickup truck with a toolbox is better than what we have. So anything you can do to help us, thank you for your help previous, and thank you for the things you're working on for us. And I know your job is very difficult, and you know, we just all work together and do the best we can.
Randy, whenever he was looking Friday, there was a bunch on there, but they wasn't in real good shape.
Right.
And that's the reason he wasn't.
Well, I trust you because you know what works for us, and if you see something, let me know, and I'll be glad to work with you or whatever. I mean, I'm proud you didn't take the first thing that's available. I mean, look and kind of, I'm sorry, this gnat's getting in my ears, but just whatever looks like it'll work for us. We're not looking at replacing these trucks often. You know, we get something, it works. We kept our rescue truck from '86 till a couple of years ago. But we get a good truck, it'll last us a long time.
I know usually too, have started trying to have EMS and EMA, and our disaster, just like pre-disaster mitigation plan, just like we need to get on that again. So when you get back and things settle down, if you get with Ron and maybe get this notebook and get with the EMA director and John Pruitt and kind of give us a recommendation if we need, what changes, if any, and whatever we need to do to make sure that we don't let this thing expire and get caught, you know, not knowing what we need to be doing as far as county goes, to keep everybody safe and disastrous times. Hopefully, we've had a flood and a tornado in the last couple of years, so maybe we won't have to worry about it, but that's probably sooner or later.
Do you know if that's the new plan, that was, the deadline was June 1st?
No, this is not the new one, that's what I'm saying, this is the old plan.
It says it expires in 2013.
Okay.
So that's kind of, we'll get a copy of that new one and maybe go over it if we need that. Sherry, you clean it up.
Yes, and we do have your Lanier County pre-disaster mitigation ready to go to GEMA for their approval.
Okay.
So we can get you a copy of your new plan, but until it's approved through GEMA, it won't be, you can't adopt it yet.
Okay.
Okay, but we do have a new plan ready.
We'll get it.
Can I get
We're
a
already
copy of
working
that?
on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry.
The plans, understand that they grow and they change and they work, and that's something that doesn't need to sit on the desk till the time it's time to redo it again. I've got several people lined up at the first of the year when you actually, you know, John retires or whatever's going to happen. I've got Ruby North in Stockton ready to go, Mike Unwin here in Lakeland, and I forget the gentleman at Westside's name, but we're going to get together and do a risk analysis for Lanier County. What risk does Stockton have? 84, the train track and stuff like that. What risk does Westside have? 125, Walker's Crossing, a minor train track with Moody Air Force Base. You know, then we'll get with Teeterville and Westside. Their risks are mainly the aerial farming and different farming and things like that. Instead of having one blanket Lanier County, we're going to have it in subsections and still go with GEMA's, you know, county plan, to kind of fine tune it a little bit and train the folks at Westside a little different on how to do things than we do Stockton and how to do Teeterville. Everybody seems to be real excited about that. We'll get our CERT classes going as soon as we get our risk to where we know what risk we're dealing with. Then we'll train our CERT classes to deal with those risks.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you for all you do.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to verify, Sherry, did you say that Jima's got to approve that first before the board can?
Before the board can adopt it, it has to be approved through June. Yes,
Isn't
sir.
that deadline, is it June 30 or not? Is that?
Yes, sir, I believe it is. But yours is, we had finished it, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, it may have gotten sent to Gma last week. If not, it'll go to Gma this week. And we can get your copy.
Anybody got any questions? No, thank you.
Thank you all again, I appreciate it.
All right, next we have Parks and Rec, Director Norwood.
Morning. Activities for May at the Recreation Department were that we finished the regular season with t-ball, baseball, softball, select all-star team who are currently competing in warm-up tournaments. And we also have Zumba class.
All right, and then I've agreed to meet John at 5 this afternoon to do a tour of the park with everything that kind of what's happened lately with, I guess, the split up or the park board resignations. And I've agreed to meet him down there and kind of see what's going on and see if anything needs to be addressed here in the budget year or whatever. He mentioned some bathroom issues, some minor things, but I invite anybody who wants to go to that 5 to meet us down there at the park, do a walkthrough and see where we're at. I see anybody got any questions for him. We're gonna look at the equipment as well, see where that needs to be. So everybody, anything you can help with on your opinion or expertise, greatly be appreciated.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
it was called to my attention by the mayor. He came to see me, I didn't have no tour to come to see me. And he said that they wanted to move the basketball court, he read it in the paper. And he said that he will buy the asphalt, and he will pull the asphalt for his people in Lanier County and Lakeland. And he said he'll pay for it through the city's expense. As soon as we find a location, we're going to
That'd be graciously appreciated if we could do that. And there's been a lot of discussion here lately. I certainly won't see, I don't think we would turn down a gift like that if we could do it. So I guess we can look at that maybe this afternoon as well when we go and see if we can designate an area or find the area that might be suitable for that. Whatever, transfer or relocation of the basketball courts.
John, had somebody come to me, said they was trying to rent a park for a weekend to put on tournaments. You know what the
As long as
schedule is on that?
nothing already scheduled, we rent.
Well, he told me he was told no, he couldn't rent it.
We don't turn that down.
And
Just have them contact.
Speaking of that, the rents, the 2 different occasions that the park was rented, have you been paid?
All of it's clear. All is clear rent for no name bowl as well as tournament fee.
Okay, so, okay. Anybody that I can confirm that she's gotten one? So anybody got any other questions about parks and rec? So, we definitely would like to rent the park out when available, but we just want to make sure that the customers or paying customers or get us paid. So, did that. And then I guess, thank you, John. Anybody got any questions on Parks and Rec?
We voted our last park board meeting not to hire any new employees down there due to the fact that we're at the end of the season. There's employees being paid now to run the gate, collect trash, mowing, maintenance, and then a part-time office park assistant. And from my understanding, y'all allowed another employee to be hired, and we just voted in our park board meeting not to hire anybody else at this time.
Well,
I mean,
again,
I was just-
since the board has dissolved, basically.
So that we're done with the board then completely?
Well, y'all, 3 people turned their resignation in, and I mean, I don't know how you can
Okay,
function.
I mean, that's fine, I was under the assumption it was gonna be until June 30th,
Yeah.
so,
That's what it said in the resignation.
Anyway, there wasn't really, there was an employee left. John came to me Friday, said he needed to just have that person's name on the paper so he could use it. Yes, sir.
To clarify, this is not a new hire, well, it's a new person that we're putting in the same position that we already have in PR position. When we need somebody to travel with teams, various cities, I have to have staff with that team representing Lanier County.
And again, maybe, again, that's why I've asked anybody, since I don't know if we can all be down there, we'd have to call a work session, but, these are the kind of things we're trying to get ahead of, knowing the park board is going away, and we just kinda gotta all try to work together.
Park board can't go away.
Not go away, but until we can make new appointments and all that stuff, we do need to advertise that in the paper, so if you will, put that in there and we'll advertise the park board. But I guess till we get those folks replaced that are all resigning as of June, then we need to just work together the best we can, so. I was using the wrong terms, it hadn't dissolved, it just.
Is it a lack of communication between the park board and the board of commissioners? That when they make a decision, the board doesn't know what's happening, then John comes to the board and you know what's happening?
The last couple of meetings, the park board chairman's been here, so. I don't know.
I think as far as like right there, they made a recommendation not to hire someone and then someone's hired. I think that's a reason that a lot of them have quit. A lot of it's been as lack of what's happened from the park board being given to the commissioners to, I guess, decisions that have been made or haven't been made, or things that have been come up or haven't come up.
The park director should, when he wants to do a hire, should go to his board, park board, not to the county commissioners. So something's not going smooth, you know.
Well,
And that's what he has been told.
Previous before this just happened Friday, and so they didn't have any, I thought they'd already resigned, I made a mistake, but when the park board chairman comes here and tells everything's okay, I think the miscommunication has been with the park board. The board may have these feelings and the chairman had another, and I don't think the board of commissioners here were being related to proper message. I don't think that we have, I don't believe honestly that we've not tried to support and back the park board. I just believe there's been different opinions and views from the park board, and the communication there to us has been poor. I'll take, we can say both sides, but when the chairman, I'm sorry, comes to our meetings and tells us this, and if that's not what's going on, how are we to know that, I guess, unless the entire park board shows up, and I guess.
Park director should never report to the board, he reports to his own board, and that board reports to you.
Okay, well, we need to change that in our report.
It's already in their bylaws, correct me if I'm wrong, the new bylaws that they did, he has to report to the board, and then the board reports to the county.
We'll change that from now, but I guess with Norwood, Mr. Norwood's been reported to us just before we had the park board, so Don, if you'll make that change for next month. And of course, we don't have a park board chairman after.
We'll have you on by next month, how about it?
Okay, sounds good.
I'd like to personally say that our board has done a lot of good. I know it may not seem in your eyes all the time, but y'all have made great strides, and I will applaud y'all for it. And I know that you get frustrated with it and tend to want to give up, and anybody else would. We do appreciate your service and what you have done, and you would give those regards to all of the park board, the one that's resigned and the ones that continue to stay there, that we do appreciate what they've done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't already say that. I certainly recognize the improvements that's been made with the budget.
Well, and that was the thing with the new hire is because the one that is being replaced, she hasn't drawn a paycheck in a long time, extremely long time, and so that was another reason we voted no, is because we are trying to keep the budget down and watch the money, and so that was because that has been a big thing for us to take and work with, has been the budget.
Well, I'll take responsibility for that, but then, we just haven't had the best communication of late, so, hang that one on me. When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. So.
Fair enough.
Okay? Anybody else? All right, Suzanne, you got anything? On animal control, we opened the bids last month. Of course, we've got that,
You
and
accepted,
I'm sorry,
you accepted the lowest.
the lowest bid pending the state's approval of the kennel being reopened and this.
I never knew the kennel had been closed till after you had, thought you asked, could you accept the bid, and it's up to the person who submitted the bid for him to be in compliance with the state.
That's right, that's right. So, I mean, as long as he's in compliance, we can shift that.
Well, part of this thing, he's not in compliance yet.
There's still an issue of leaving the ditch and something else to do
Oh,
on
I thought, okay. Well, then, we're still in a holding pattern on animal control.
I think there's some other issues that could come up about that that we gonna have to look into.
Is it starting to look like he may not be able to do it? I mean, do we just continue to wait, or we need to?
No, you need to go on, unless you want the city to continue to do it, you need to go on.
I would just say for now, I mean, the mayor and the city council has agreed to do it for us. I think we should at least wait till our July meeting and then make a decision at that time, if that's okay. And give the low bid person every opportunity to resolve these problems, and then have some thoughts maybe about where we go next month with the meeting and move that way, if that's okay.
Well, it was put in the paper that he was hired as the county animal control officer, which is not true. We accepted the bid depending on whether everything was in order.
Right.
Also too, that truck states Lanier County Animal Control, and it not being a county employee, a lot of people call and complain when they're unruly conduct, but how can the county have an employee acting like that because of that truck does say Lanier County Animal Control? What do we need to do to change that, or?
He's been told several times to take Lanier County off of it.
He said that there he put stickers, his daddy put stickers up there that said to try, and then he's taken them off. But the contract with his daddy specifically said Lanier County will not be on that truck.
Can we send a letter? Could you send a letter on our behalf requesting that, or, I mean?
He's not doing work for us now, I mean, he's not picking
Hey.
up dogs.
I know that he's representing as Lanier County Animal Control.
Is that something we need to talk to the sheriff about?
No, I'll write him.
The sheriff can help you with that, because I had a fireman doing the same thing. They quit fire department, yet they still run their lights and stuff. You have to, the sheriff can tell you what to do with it. Because there's a letter you send, a dismissal letter or something, I don't know. Send them down, they're supposed to. Then if they don't, then they're breaking the law, yeah.
All right, thanks. Next, under department reports, we have Miss Amy Lawless with Family Connections.
I didn't have this down to actually say, but since, real quickly about the park board with Family Connection, and I will talk about it a little bit later on, we work with a lot of, unruly kids, and part of our recommendations is usually to, for recreation, for ball or football, and so, it is, the rec department is extremely important to our county in that way, and I planned on going to the next rec board meeting. I went to the last one as a parent, but to the next one as Family Connection Coordinator to really share that, because it's important, I think, for our coaches to understand when they're out there, it's not just their children, but their children that we send out there who do not have good role models at home. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about our child abuse team. Some of you may not know this, but one of the things we really work towards is bettering our DFACs. And that is good for the county to know the things that we do to help. I was noticing on that y'all do have a budget for our DFACs, local DFACs, and where that money goes is to their foster children and to their student worker that they have up front. That's to buy foster kids, get their haircuts, clothing, different allowances like that, and Christmas gifts. As some of you may know, it's now DFACS in our county is closed 2 days a week just because of budget cuts from the state. And right now, our director for Lanier County was just given 3 other counties to be the director of. So she now directs 4 counties, and just as a side note, on the same pay. So we have, and I can tell you this personally, a wonderful DFAC staff that we do not want to leave in Lanier County. So it's important to us that we keep them there and don't have a high turnover. So one of the things that we have been working on is an employee appreciation for them. Another thing, because of their budget cuts, the playroom that they have there, when the parents come and have to spend some time with their children, we are trying to update that playroom so that it'll make it more family friendly for their engagement. And also working on their waiting room. It does not have to be so blah and depressing. When you go in there and you're already probably a little depressed already before you walk in the door, make it a little more exciting. Some other things, some of you may not know, but there was a new state law or ruling that most of our unruly DJJ kids are being referred to DFACS, which is new. And because of that, they're getting a lot more referrals. But a lot of those kids are now being referred to something. Every county does it. You just may not hear about it. It's called an LIPT. It's a local interagency planning team. And so our DFAC staff has started working with us. I'm the chairman of that, of sending more of those kids and those families to us. And we bring in all the agencies together, and everybody works together for that child. The health department, DFACS, the Department of Labor brings in the vocational rehab person. There's somebody for Lanier County. So the BHS comes. So everybody's there to work for that child. If we did have a child, like when we start going to the rec department or things like that, then we can have those people be a part of it also. So those things, I just want you to know that, because those kind of meetings have already been very successful here. We've had a lot of good success stories from them. And that was another thing I was noticing was the juvenile court. That's a lot of kids. If you've ever been in there and had to see those kids come in there. So anything that we can do to work on those unruly children, then it'll be a betterment for the community. One last thing with that, in that area, we're doing a community day on August the 3rd, and that is going to be right before school starts on the 5th. There's going to be free haircuts, free clothing, free food, free school supplies, and so there's a large group from the community that's been working on that together. Last but not least, the other team we have with Family Connections is our literacy team. And I just want to thank the commissioners for allowing us to do this today. But we wanted to recognize our GED graduates. We actually had 6 that just graduated when? May 23rd. And so 3 or 4 of the 6 are here today. And I was going to let Miss Denise, who's their teacher, introduce them, and then we just had a little gift of appreciation for them.
Next person I'd like to call up is Miss Peggy Dortch. Miss Peggy Dortch is a recent graduate as well. Peggy's been with me off and on for a good while now, but we've had 2 daughters to graduate, right?
Family affair.
2 graduate from the GED program. She's doing our transition program. Transition is where the students get their GEDs. You know, a lot of times people get their GEDs and they just kind of fade into the background. Some folks don't even actually, they get a job and just sit at home or whatever. We have a person that with adult education at Wildcats, and they help them to either get a job or go to work, go to school, or whatever it is they need to do. And so she's one of the first ones in our transition program. next person is Ms. Mosier. Ms. Sharon Mosier is another graduate in the day program with me. And Ms. Mosier is also interested in doing our transition program. And she's going to, I'm not sure what area she's going into, but she's talking about work, she's talking about going back to school, and I'm just excited for her because she's just a wonderful student. She worked hard, and she was only with us for how long?
About 6 or 7 months.
How long? Yeah. And thank you and congratulations. The last person we have here is Miss Patricia Cottrell. Ms. Patricia is another recent GED graduate. Need to mention that she was actually our EAGLE representative, which EAGLE stands for Exceptional Adult Education and Literacy Education, and she talks about the literacy program in a number of places. She also works at, when she graduated, well, right before she graduated, she landed a job at Goodwill Industries in Valdosta, and she's written a children's book called Fame, Nanny Fame. So y'all have some talented folks over there. I'm excited to be able to share it with you all. But this is Miss Patricia Cottrell. Thank you. And again, I thank you and I appreciate you all allowing me to speak a few moments with you all.
Which one's going to make a speech to this?
Yeah.
Speech.
Well, the recipient should make about a 30-minute speech. Wouldn't you?
All the recipients, okay.
They're wanting the happiness to continue.
But as she said, we've got a couple other graduates that came out of this one, but we already had 2 more folks that we're at the end of the year, so this is crunch time. So we've got 2 more that just finished and passed, and I've got a group over there now that we're in the last test, and we're just, math always our booger subject.
And too, when you tell everybody, what do you mean you were able to start back up with the program here at this building, this location? I know, that's what I'm saying. How long have you been back here?
We were blown away with the tornado, and we've been back over here. We came back over actually like the last 2 days of the year in June, so we didn't get to do anything much except move in. But we started back in August, and we do day classes Monday through Thursday, evening classes Monday and Wednesday. We did get a little bit of a cut at one point where we're just 2 days a week, but thank God we're back to our 4 days a week, because most people don't really realize, but the GED program, some people think, well, all you got to do is take a test and pass it. Well, some people may be that fortunate, but if you think about it, you're talking about K through 12. That's 12 years of school you're trying to push in for someone to take a test and pass. And so sometimes they've dropped out in 3rd grade, some have dropped out in 10th grade, but then they were in special services, just all kinds of reasons why they have come to our program. But this is their opportunity. I call it their second chance to get that education and to go more further. And y'all have some wonderful students out in Lanier County. And I say that like I don't live in Lanier County, but I feel like I live in Lanier County because I've been here for so long. Matter of fact, when I asked could I go back, I asked the volunteer, requested to come to Lanier County when I left being the program director. And I wanted to be back over here because I love this county. I mean, you all have always been warm, and the students here, and even some of the students that you may not think were doing anything, they were on the street. Y'all have had students that have gone in the Navy. Y'all have had students, these are even some of the black men in the community, because I know a lot of people look at the black youth as a negative thing, but we've had some positives in that group as well. We've got one at Georgia Military College right now as well. So, I mean, y'all have some wonderful folks over here, and I'm excited to be able to tell you all what's going on in our program. Thank you.
I didn't pay you for any of that and saying that.
Okay. And while we're talking about good things, the Lions Club banquet last week, while you were leaving Parks and Rec, Amy, you mentioned how important it is. The Lions Club has taken on, or has agreed to help with a fundraising project to help the city and the county revitalize the park and/or try to help move the park and build a new park, whatever the scenario would come out. But we really appreciate the effort on the Lions Club as well. So maybe with them getting out in front of this project, it will help us raise some money and do some good things at Parks and Rec. So, all righty. Anybody got any questions about anything else? Before we move on to, we turn it over to Donna to give us a financial report.
Yes, sir, you all should have a copy in your folders. You'll notice that our revenue today is at 91.39%, and our expenditures, the overall is the general budget, but the general fund is at 79.57%. Our SPOS budget is at 68.97%. At the end of our 10th month, we should have been at 83.33% or less. So at this time, other than a few departments that are a little above their budget, or either we've already completely paid them their budget apportionment, we're still under budget.
Keep our fingers crossed we stay there. All right, thank you for that. And then, you included the new budget request.
I did, and also
packet.
copies on the back table if anyone would like to have a copy of them.
We just thought it'd be a good time to make those public, and anybody wants to take a look at that and give us some input or suggestions, we'd greatly appreciate that. And, speaking of that, Tony, I was hoping maybe we could get you a copy of that budget and then give you a week or so to look at it. Maybe with 17th, about the 24th, am I right? What day would that fall on? Thursday? Would that be on the 24th? Or does that fall? No, about the 20th, isn't it?
27, I
June.
think. 27, I think.
Be around 27.
24th. Is it 24th?
It is 2 weeks from today.
That's that Thursday, so it would be, what day would that be?
Be the 20th.
20th? Is that too soon, if we had a budget work session and kind of?
No, I mean, I don't think so. No.
Would you put it,
Yeah.
we can put it off one more week if you think that would help.
Yeah, give me another week.
Give you another week.
Look at it.
How about-
I do have jury duty, I said,
That's right.
17.
That's right.
Of all places, I got called on jury duty. So,
All right, so you want to flip, what will that be?
Another week,
Another week.
be 27th.
27th.
Budget work session.
Yeah, if we do a budget work session on 27th, and we may or may not meet the July 1, but we'll be all over. I think we'll be all over. I think after that work session, we'll be real close to being able to adopt a budget.
And what time, Mr. Chairman?
I want to do it 5:30, or, is that okay? That way, okay, we'll do it here, at the annex building, yeah. Okay. What you got?
I've got one more thing.
Okay.
Albert may also want to help with this. I've received several emails from Ryan Thomas, who is with the South Georgia Regional Commission concerning our nutrition contract. He is continuously sending emails asking about the approval. There should be a copy in your folder of the South Georgia Area Agency on Aging contract. He's asking if the board will accept this contract and approve it as soon as possible. But I've explained to him we're still through budget work sessions, and so far we have not agreed to any budgets at this moment.
Okay, so this is something to table until next month or whatever.
He said it runs fiscal year July the 1st, 2013 through June the 30th, 2014. So I believe he will want to do this before July the 13th, July the 1st, 2013.
Have you looked at this, Suzanne?
Nope, I've not seen it. Tony's not liking it anymore.
That's not it, I promise.
Yeah.
I promise. Well,
No, we just have a lot of information.
we may have, we may try to have a call meeting and address these after the work session. We may just do that too, Suzanne, on that same, we may even have a call meeting for the work session and get these contracts and all that hammered out if we need to.
Does this require us to have a set amount in our budget before we fix this contract?
Albert works usually for these concerning this contract.
They understand that, it's a physical year deal, so if we have to do it, every year we've been a little late, and there hasn't been a problem with that. We've been sending them their deal in August. Because I understand our fiscal year ends the same as theirs.
We'll decide between now and.
Require them to get us our information before we. Stay the same.
So we need to have a call meeting prior to the work session.
We'll see. We'll let Suzanne have, Suzanne and myself will look at these things. If we need to have one, we will. If that's okay, would that be all right with y'all to do it before the work session if a call meeting is necessary? Yeah, okay. So we'll leave it at that. Is that, got everything, Donna, you need to tell us about?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Albert, you got any updates for us, please?
Yeah, I've got to update 2 bridges on Highway 64. One at 10 Mile Creek is going to be replaced by the state. They project it's going to cost somewhere around $4.4 million to replace that bridge. The other one also is on 64 at 5 Mile Creek, and they're going to replace it, and these will be at no cost to the county. That one's going to run a little better than $4 million also, so the county will be getting somewhere around $8.5 million in the next year to replace the 2 bridges. We're having a bid opening next Monday on the 2 bridges on Empire Church to repair those 2 bridges. That's LMIG money. The county's getting roughly right at $190,000 on the LMIG. We'll have a little bit of money left off the repairing of the bridges to start the resurfacing on Good Hope Road. So that's the next road that needs to be resurfaced. That was priority road. And then that next LMIG money will of course go to trying to finish up Good Hope Road. It may take 2 LMIG cycles because of the length of Good Hope, because it's about 4.5 miles long.
And the shoulders of Good Hope are bad shape.
This will be, we can get some of the county money that instead of having to put in a lot of money, we can do some in-kind service on that, on the shoulder. That will help with the actual cash.
And the bid contract, or to be open what day?
It'll be open Monday, this coming Monday.
Coming Monday.
Yes, sir. Which will be the 17th. We had it set up before then, but the state thought that the 2 roads on 2 bridges on Empire were the same ones they were doing, so we had to put it off. We will go open them last Thursday, but we had to put it off because of the state.
You might have any questions there, right? All right, well, good news on the bridges work then, I guess. Get it done. Thank you, Albert. That brings us to item 12, which is executive session regarding personnel. And I guess there's a couple, 1 or 2, I think we need to discuss.
Make a motion to go into executive.
Second. All right, so we're back in regular session, and let's see. 2 more papers, Donnie. You should have told me to keep that yellow folder shut for a little while. Okay, no update on loss. Still waiting on a court date and all that good stuff.
Were there any
I guess executive.
decisions that you have from executive session?
Yeah, I was fixing to say a little bit.
Just wanted to make sure.
All right, on executive, we discussed the advertising of a part-time assistant clerk position for the upcoming future. There a motion to advertise for that job.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
One question, how long do you want it run?
In the paper?
We'll just get together.
Yeah, just to advertise it a couple of weeks. Is there a deadline?
Just don't know. But I'm gonna be-
Just advertise, just advertise it for a week and then we'll go from there.
I'll know more Friday at the doctor's, after the doctor's appointment.
Just advertise it for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Let them have them till July 1st to sign it.
Okay.
But I may be done before then.
Right, that's fine. That's fine. Now, is there anything else we discussed as far, other than animal control contract? I mean, we just,
Advertising for the park board.
yeah, I think we addressed the advertising the park board earlier too, didn't we, Dawn? Earlier, so you're gonna advertise for those. Won't we let the applications run the same for that, the park board and the assistant clerk? And, I think, on the, animal control contract, we would, is there a motion to rescind that award earlier?
I'll make the motion to withdraw the offer made to the lowest bidder for animal control contract.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Any further discussion there? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Opposed, and abstained, okay. All right. Is there anything else I'm missing, executive? There's just some things I'm gonna get with different offices on my personnel matters, but other than that, that's it. And then that brings us back to, under old business, our road department. We've already done that. I guess we were looking for an update though. The equipment, we withdrew the dump trucks because we couldn't get sufficient offers.
And I believe we did get, I believe it was the sidearm mower Albert Dahl, we did get a check in on that. I believe it sold at the auction for around $19,000. Does that need, we need to put that in general fund and earmark that for the new equipment?
I think it was 21, but we had some selling costs in there. That guy that netted us about 19.
But just earmark that for the new.
Yeah, for the new mower. And then finally, I know our Mr. Steve Edwards has been a long wait, I'm sorry. But
That's all right.
anyway, he's back this month talking about advanced disposal contract renewal.
That's all right. I am your, proud to be your garbage man from Advanced Disposal. I work in the Valdosta office, and hopefully this will be something to cheer about, kind of like some of the other earlier items in the meeting. Just to kind of recap, I came to y'all on May 13th and talked about some different ways we can improve our partnership with Lanier County. And we bought Veolia in November of 2012, last year, and we've continuously improved. We're very different than Veolia. We really pride ourselves on the way we treat our city and county customers. And as y'all know, y'all are members of the Deep South Solid Waste Authority, which is Evergreen Landfill, and that's where we're taking all your garbage to. And I spoke about a couple different things, how we can save the citizens money and add some services for Lanier County. A couple of those things, the old Veolia contract, it's almost like a double the rate if you have a second cart. And then I committed to $5 more if a citizen has a second cart. That's typically what Advanced Disposal is used to doing. So we made that change. And then the second item is I committed to do a annual spring cleaning for Lanier County, where folks would bring in sofas, chairs, garden stuff, and it will be an annual deal that we'll do from this point forward. Kind of a unique service that we can bring to the county residents. Also, most importantly, we would forego the rate increase scheduled for June of 2013 and just forego it. And that saves the residents of Lanier County about $6,000. I also talked about, in the current contract, it's for cart contents only. In other words, we're just going to get what's in the cart. We also talked about a way that if folks do have something at the curb, as long as it's not too excessive, like a chair or an extra bag or a couch, as long as it doesn't happen all the time, they can call our office and we can schedule it in for a special pickup. And in doing that, we'd like the county to consider renewing our current contract. I think we've got great service. We've made a lot of improvements, like I said, since we purchased Veolia. And the addendum that I had submitted to y'all is a simple one-page addendum to the current contract that outlines each one of those items that I spoke of. We've got a great crew taking care of Lanier County. They've been taking care of y'all for a long time. We've got some different management folks that I think have improved the service. And if any issues do come up, I'm your, like I said earlier, garbage guy. And Albert and folks call me for any issues. And I take care of them very quickly. And I'll open it up for any questions you might have.
Anybody got questions? You good?
Don't have a question, but don't you have a couple of drivers for me?
Yeah, we do. We employ a couple of drivers from this area, yes, sir. So we're good for the economy, too.
So we act on it today, you're saying we're gonna save some money, is that
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully good news, like I talked about earlier.
We're gonna take action today on the matter. You want a motion to accept the renewal contract?
So you look like this. Are you look like?
I haven't looked at what he's holding, but I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you want to just do it subject to Suzanne's approval? This one thing?
Yes, sir. It's just an addendum.
Subject to approval of the attorney,
Okay.
I can make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. We look forward to a good partnership going
Yes,
down
sir.
there. And, so, all the complaints, your department, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for what you've done. We appreciate the consideration.
That's just what he just looked at, just what I said.
We wait till lower first, yeah.
You want us to just send this to you in the mail, or you want?
I can get it as soon as you're done signing if you want. Or has the attorney looked at it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Then you just send me back the copy.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, you don't get Don over there, so I guess Don. Let's see. And then, Ms. Sherry Davis, we skipped over the short-term work program resolution. Is that something you can talk to us about, or is that something we need to wait on?
No, I can talk to you all day about it if you want to, but that
Sure,
won't take but just a few minutes.
Go ahead, that'd be great.
We've had your assessment meetings with Lanier County. You know, DCA requires you to go through your short-term work program every 5 years, drop off a year, add a year to it, and give them an accountability of the projects that you all had listed the previous years as to if it was ongoing, if it was approved, or if you wanted to drop it off. So we've held all of your assessment meetings. Emmanuel Zanders came over, we had the stakeholders there. It's been put together, it's been sent to you all, and then we had sent it to DCA. They have approved it. All this is your resolution to adopt. That way it keeps it in line with your QLG, your Qualified Local Government Standard. Make sure you don't lose that. It's part of your comprehensive plan.
So,
I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have, Mr.
let
Chairman.
me try to see where I put it. That's the aging. You don't know how many, yeah, here it is.
I believe you should have also got an explanation from our office by fax. Did you get that information?
Yeah, and this needs to be done today.
you don't wanna lose your qualified local government standing, sir.
Right. Okay, can we, have a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
The appointment, the reappointment for the board of health and children's
The
services.
agent, which one?
The Lanier County Board of Family and Children's Services, but reappointed Mrs. Donna Sermons, the county attorney said I had it down here.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right.
This appointment.
But she, we don't know if she wants to.
Yes, she does.
Oh, she wants to continue.
She
Oh, good.
does want to be reappointed.
Good. We didn't know that Friday, so that's good. All right, so we want to just reappoint Miss Donna Sermons to that board. Is there
I'll make a motion to reappoint Donna Sermons.
a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Any other
Thank you.
appointments or anything we need to do? Any citizens' comments or questions or?
I do.
Yes, sir.
I was tickled with the park board, and apparently it didn't work out right. I would just make a suggestion. I don't know if this will be possible, but if it's at all possible, to screen applicants that have no ties to the ballpark whatsoever.
I agree with that 100%, probably.
You got a park board member that's got grandchildren or even children that's participating, it's an unfair advantage.
Especially coaches.
Right, so, I mean, if it's all possible, just screen people that don't have any children involved.
We learned a pretty good lesson.
And that's, you
We're
know,
gonna
see
do
if
our
that'll work
best.
better.
We're gonna do our best to
You
try.
volunteering, Gary?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, it would be biased, I assure you. And I don't have any children down there, but I've got a budget and they got a budget, you understand what I'm saying? And theirs is always bigger than mine, I don't like that. So,
Well, we left it up to
it would
all
be,
of them that had signed up and it was served on the park board. We left it all up to them to put who they wanted on there.
yeah,
And
that,
that's where we, you know,
yeah. It would just be a less biased opinion for people that don't have children there. Because they would have an honest, you know, I mean, they just, like you said, you're gonna favor it. If you got a child down there, you're gonna, I mean, it's just human nature.
I think over half of that park board were actually coaches, so that was a huge
Yeah.
conflict when it comes to a handbook and rules and.
So I think really all the applicants should be screened first. So do you have any children involvement in that whatsoever?
The only thing about that is, Gary, is a lot of people, well, most of the people that volunteer down there, they have kids or somebody down there. So, you know, if you don't have nobody down there like you ain't got nobody down there, so you don't care about that part. So if you got a grandkid.
But I can make decisions about that part.
Well, you know.
Given the opportunity, I can make the decisions about it.
Well, that's what they
So,
know.
I mean, the decision the park board should be making should be, have to do with administrative part and how to use the money properly and stuff like that. That you don't have to have children involved, playing ball to do
the only
administrative.
problem with that, Gary, is we didn't have anybody that didn't have kids apply to it. And the few that we did have there, whenever they was asked if they were willing to serve on it, refused.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to take what you gon' you know, what you can get some of the time, you know.
Like select the jury.
But they're doing a good job, you know. You
Well,
just use all the credit.
I don't know what, you know, you hear rumors about this and that. But
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, can I get you to sign these and then we'll move for adjournment on this?
Who, me?
I mean, it's on the fire truck for that pumper.
Oh, do I need to sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's,
I ain't seen the pumper yet, but I'll go look at it.
Yeah, well, here it is. This is what we.
It ain't big enough, ain't so big it won't fit in the building, is it?
no,
No.
it's about like one of those down there,
Just regular
You
room.
yeah,
You wanna talk
700.
about grants here, or you wanna go to lunch?
it's 750 or 1,000 gallons, whatever it
Yeah, it has
is.
to be a minimum 750.
Yeah. It's 750 or 1,000, he didn't know exactly which one
GBM,
it was.
or is
Yeah,
that the tank size?
tank size, I
Tank
think.
size? I hope it's 1,000 on tank.
It may be,
Where do I sign that?
I think it's right there. I don't know, either. Something said right there.
County administrator.
look on back on the back page.
Yeah, right there.
Should have fire chief and Whoever
Yeah, I
else.
see it right there.
And there's another one, I don't know if there's another, one. That's for the same truck, but I guess. it's not.
No, that's the same.
There you go.
You know, there's one on the second page.
Last page, yeah. Ooh, Fire Chief, Emergency Management Agency Director.
Either one.
That's kind of a conflict there.
It's either one can sign.
Either one can sign it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Cause I asked him.
Days to what?
Page 10.
10.
10. 13 right there. I got a print one.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
I came around to talk to you about the resolution and whatever else you want to do.
Okay, sounds good.
I just have to be in focus and back there.
Okay, we'll oblige on that. Jason's going to much with
Okay.
it. Y'all want to have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second.